Now, this curling, I mean, that's an hard job, isn't it?
Curling is a real passion of mine. Oh, it has been. You know, I don't curl anymore because I had a new knee, and I couldn't really deliver properly with curling then. Yeah. But I was the skipper of the Welsh national team for 18 years, and I played in 15 European championships, which were played in various countries all over Europe, and I played in World Championships in Canada. You know, and it was a great time for me. It's a very special time.
Yeah. What was the best that you did with the Welsh side in those championships then?
Well, when you consider there's about 25 countries entering the European Championships, you had to come in the top 7 in Europe to be able to go forward to the World Championships. And then those 7 teams were joined by a Canadian team, an American team, and one from the winners of Australia, Japan and China. And we managed to get in the 6th place. And that was really like Colwyn Bay winning the FA Cup, to be honest. You know, because we only have one ice rink in Wales that curls. So with like 150 members compared to thousands of Canadians who curl and thousands of Scottish people who curl, you know, that was quite some feat.
Yeah.
So to go to Canada, and then even then when we got to Canada, we beat 2 ex-world champions, so that was good.
Yeah. I mean, it must be a hard game. I mean, running up and down on the ice with a brush in your hand, Jack. I mean, I'd be out, but I can't stand up on the ice anyway, and I'm useless at sweeping up at the same time. So
I didn't rush up and down the ice. See, I was the skip.
Was you?
Yeah, and I had some young guys with me in the World Championship, you know, so they did all the hard work.
Yeah.
I did just the directives, you know.
Right. Yeah, Lynn just wants to ask you something, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
Hi, Lynn.
Just interested on the curling. Obviously, I've never attempted to play it myself. Just watched it on the television. But do you think sort of your bowls knowledge that you've had over the years, did that help in any way? Is there any similarities?
Well, of course it did. Yes. You've got a feel for something, you know, and I had a feel for this game. And although you're playing with stones, which are made of granite, which are 44 pounds in weight,
yeah,
a lot of people pick them up and then deliver, but most people these days slide with the stone down the ice until they get what is called a hog line, and they've got to let it go then. But when I tell you that if you play on ice which is 26, 28 seconds,
yeah,
and that's the length maybe 45 yards, that's really quick ice. You know, this stone going down the ice for 28 seconds is a tremendous feeling.
Yeah, very skillful then.
It is, absolutely, yeah. It is a skillful game.
Yeah.
And although I love Crown Green, when I started curling, I loved that even more.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever play in? Is it Olympic sport, Jack?
It is an Olympic sport now, but it's only been an Olympic sport for the last 4 years.
Right. Okay.
In fact, the Scottish girls won the Olympic title 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Oh, fascinated.
Okay.
Okay. Just one thing, just telling the listeners, we're talking to Jack Hunt. The programme's supposed to finish at 10, but we ignore that. We're just going to carry on. And also. I got logged out of the computer, so if anybody put anything on the screen, I haven't seen anything for the last 10 minutes. Paul's now just been and stuck me back on again, so I hadn't got a computer screen. So we'll just carry on. So back to the Crown. We're having enough of this sweeping up on the ice now, Jack. You were also heavily involved in the Crown Green Enterprises group, weren't you?
Yes, that was run by a chap named Phil Matthews. I don't know if you remember Phil.
Yes.
He's from Liverpool, and he got these 8 bowlers together, supposedly the people who had won most tournaments, and we used to go around playing in various districts, you know, and that was very enjoyable at the time. I think it went on for 2 or 3 years. And then, of course, after that, I did some write-ups for Bowls International, and I got involved with Chris Mills, who writes for Bowls International. He was the editor at that time. And we formed the professional group of 12 players originally, and then 16 later on. And that was done by computer ranking, people who had won the most tournaments at that time. and that was interesting for a time. In fact, we had meetings with flat green people and the snooker people in Derby one year, and they tried to get the 3 codes put together. But at the end of the day, nothing came to fruition, and they all went their separate ways. But that was a shame that didn't happen, because I thought that would be a big breakthrough for Crown Green Bowls, get them on television more, etc.
Right, so after you played all the games at Cheshire, you started turning out for Wales, which we discussed, and you became sort of heavily involved in the game. You mentioned you were the county team manager and so on. We're discussing the Inter-County Championship this evening, and of course next week Wales, you probably know, Jack, are playing Cheshire.
Play Cheshire, yeah.
And the winners of that will go through to the semi-finals.
Yes.
Wales are playing on this carpet.
Yes.
And Cheshire at Budenbergs. I mean, how do you see the game going?
Well, it's interesting, this, because I remember talking to Glenn Cookson about 3 years ago, and he was asking me what I thought about this carpet, this Betterson Rose, and whether it was fair. And I don't think it's quite within the spirit of the game that they do this when other counties haven't got it. But on the other hand, British Crown Green have passed it. So Wales are well within the rights to choose it. And good luck to them. But I still feel it's not within the spirit of the game to play on that green.
Yeah.
But Wales they've had some good results on that green, and some of the players are playing there during the winter. They have a winter league, so they know it inside out. Good luck to them.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, I suppose the advantage with playing artificial greens is that the weather's not going to really change it too much, isn't it? Is it, Jack?
Well, it does change it a little bit. Yeah, I mean they tend to skid a little bit. If you get it sort of not waterlogged, but quite a bit of rain on it. But I remember playing on the first ever Crown Green artificial, and that was at Tranmere.
Yes,
I don't know if you remember that, but they had some fabulous tournaments there, and that was a great success. I'm getting off the topic here a little bit now.
No, it's all right. They did have a big tournament, a 41-up tournament.
They had a 41-up, which it was called the St Bruno, and as I remember, the last 4 players in it there was Michael Leach, Noel Burrows, a guy named Harry Pennington, and myself, and I won the tournament there. It was a 41-up, yes.
Yeah. And
that was a big breakthrough for sort of indoor Crown Green bowlings, but nothing happened afterwards, which was a great pity. Yeah. And I think I'm right in saying that green is closed now.
Yeah, it has closed, Well, I remember that tournament because Michael Leach beat me in the quarter-final.
Did he?
I remember his bowls were going sideways on places on that card.
Well, yeah, and you had to use composition bowls. Wooden bowls were no good on it.
Yeah.
I remember Dennis Mercer coming, and he played in this tournament, and he got beat easily, Dennis. And Dennis, in my estimation, was a great player.
Yeah.
And he just picked his balls up and walked through the door, and he said, "I'm never coming back here again." But you had to have the right balls for it.
Yeah. And there's a couple of messages on the screen just come up. So I've lost the previous message. I didn't see them, but just a couple have come up here saying that, asking what your views were on the artificial green, which obviously you've just mentioned.
Yeah.
And Colin Lane's just been on to say that they've got artificial green at Chadderton, and that also it just changed with the weather.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. And they have put one up at Bottlewood Castle now, haven't they?
Yeah, that's recently opened, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do, whether they're going to have league matches there or not, but it's good for the game. It's a pity all counties haven't got one, then they could take advantage of it, because, as I say, I think that would, it's not quite within the spirit of the game, I don't think.
Once you've got the initial cost, although it's expensive, I suppose the maintenance is perhaps not quite as much as green feed and all the rest of it, and maintenance of grass, is it?
Well, that's right, exactly, yes. It probably pays for itself in the long run.
Yeah.